Hey team, how are we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, and here we are at the rising of the sun. It's going to make a bigger deal tomorrow, but this symbolises 24th of April 2021, a period of time where we reflect on all of those that lost their lives or represented, wore the jersey, the A team, and stepped forward into the unknown to represent us, to represent freedom, to represent the big adventure, to represent FOMO, the fear of missing out of something unknown. 1915. At the moment, right now, the ships were around the Gallipoli Peninsula of nations, of people that had never met each other, against a foe they probably didn't consider enemy other than on paper, the Turks. Australia was about to have their baptism by fire. The English, the Canadians, the Australians and New Zealanders. A bond was about to be formed. So many men saw their last sunrise, and the reason why they saw it was because there was nothing else to do as they sat upon their boats waiting to disembark. But it was their last sunrise. We have ours, but we also take it for granted, don't we? Then we move to Korea, the Battle of Samashon, where the Canadian Princess Patricia's light infantry sat upon the hilltops with the 3rd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment and prepared for what would have been, should have been, an impossible, unwavering foe as the North Koreans and Chinese swept across their positions at the Battle of Kapiong. But they didn't, because the Australians are can-do. We prevail. We stood up against Rommel, we defeated him. We stood up against the Japanese in the jungle, the best jungle fighters in the world, and we prevailed. Australia puts the best foot forward and the best people forward. But unfortunately, the price is, in actual fact, the best people. This is another point of day for me too, because on the 24th of April, 1994, then I shared a space on a hilltop in Central Africa, Rwanda, Kibeho. That's where I was in 1995 for the Kibeho massacre. Guys and girls, so much happens around us. So many things where you either want to be in it to win it, or you're going to be a spectator to something that is great, not necessarily good, great being different. But tomorrow, if you get up and you look at the sunrise, remember at different points of this world, history pages, it's the last sunrise that so many of the best saw. Guys and gals, ANZAC Day is that day to remember the best that fell, those that came home but never truly recovered, invisible wounds, actual wounds, physical, combination of both. It's the time to remember, because it's the time that matters. And one day you'll want someone to remember you, your plight, your invisible actions that led you down a destiny of change. Tomorrow I turn 50 years old. It is where I start the second chapter to this life we get one of. I don't think it has a chance of being as long as the first chapter in this book of the bookcase of life that we call wisdom, living, learning lessons, existing and loving, and disappointment. But from here on in, I need to pledge to myself to make sure, for all of my friends that didn't come home, for all of my friends that were unable to have the children, that I could rustle their hair, not like Biden, and say, have a good day, fella, Merry Christmas, happy birthday. That we be the best version of ourselves and stop being the victims. Because victimhood will only take you backwards. Don't be a seagull. Okay. Help others where you can. Live your life and get off your goddamn lounge one day and go and have a look at the sunrise, because it's beautiful. It's free, costs you calories, makes coffee taste better, and take a friend if you've got one. If not, go and make one. We live in the best country in the world. We are girt by sea. To the brothers and sisters throughout the world, I want to take your hat off. not only to show you my splendid hair at the age of 49 prior to holding up the bat for 50, but to let you know you're not alone. Come to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and be part of a team. Myself, Lauren, Aaron Dixon, who's asleep in his hotel room 5 kilometres away, be the best version of you. You're not going to do it alone. To those across the ditch, to those across the oceans, to our global subscribers, take it easy. The next time I see you, I'll be holding up the bat, lest we forget, because they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget. See you later. It's coffee time. Love you, Mum.